Hello, I'm Jamie and I'm with NetSimple. And if you don't know who we are a technology company based in Pensacola and St. Augustine, Florida. And we provide small businesses and businesses in general with our proprietary, I always have a hard time with that word, proprietary website building software, and we also provide marketing services and payment processing. And today we're here to talk with Morgan Campbell from Coastal Click Company. She is a client of ours, and she's got just a fun new business that involves a really super cool vintage VW bus that I am totally jealous of. And so we're here to kind of like just learn a little bit about her business and what it was like to get started. And so, Morgan, welcome.
Hi, thank you.
Um, so we'll go ahead and get started. So tell me about Coastal Click and how you kind of came up with this concept that you got.
Yeah, so Trisha and she's my partner in Coastal Click, and we both work at Omega Title. And so that's how our relationship kind of started was through the title company. Um, and we actually had a really slow day at the office. And so we were just talking about everything under the moon and stars. And Trisha has these photos on her desk of a photo booth bus that she had done at a Christmas party in Birmingham, Alabama. And so her and her fiance Mio have all of these photos from the bus. And so we got to talking about it, and she's like, we just don't have that around here. I've never seen anything or anybody doing that. And it was such a cool concept, and she was kind of dreaming about it. She's like, in another life, if I could have one of these buses, I would have a bus. I would do it. And I was like, I kind of inserted myself into this equation. I was like, I'll do a bus with you.
Yeah.
And we kind of joked about it. And then literally a week later, a bus showed up at our house. And
Wow.
we had pulled the trigger, and it was all the stars kind of aligned for it. But we had a bus coming from Texas on the way being delivered to our house. So that is how the whole thing came about with Coastal Click.
Okay, so was the bus like already kind of like in the condition that it was in, or did y'all have to like get it fixed up and like what was that kind of like?
So we started on Facebook Marketplace
Uh,
and just looking and kind of seeing what was out there, inventory, what that even looks like financially. Um, and it is crazy.
mhm.
Buses are expensive.
Yeah.
And especially when people put all of the time and love into remodeling them and getting them in pristine condition, the resale prices on it are like upwards of 60 to 80 grand.
Yeah.
And so initially we were kind of like, yeah, I don't think that's in our budget right now for just kind of going with the flow and figuring out if we could even do this. And one of our friends, Jason, him and his wife, Sherry, own a car business, and he has his auction license. So I sent a text to him and I said, Jason, what are the odds you could get your hands on a VW bus for Trisha and I that's not
Mm.
60, 80, whatever grand? And he was like, let me take a look. I know they're kind of hard to find. And then the next morning I woke up and there were five different buses in my email. And when he sent the one we ended up purchasing, it was in Texas. The photos online did it no justice at all. It looked funky.
Yeah.
But the price of it was significantly different than all of the others. And so we entertained it. Like he reached out to the person, and the guy sent him photos and videos of the condition of the bus. And it has been in his family since the day it was built. They have been the only owners. And the photos looked way different in person. And Trisha and I were kind of like, we could work with this. Can we do this?
Yeah.
And Jason was the one kind of mediating this whole situation. So he was going back and forth with the owner, and the guy told us that a family from another part of Texas was actually coming into his town to look at it on a Friday. And they wanted to turn it into a photo booth bus and run their business out of Texas. And so Trish and I had a moment and we were like, okay, the concept isn't crazy. Somebody else is literally coming at the end of the week to check out this bus and turn it into the same business. What do we need to do to pull the trigger?
Yeah.
And so we put in an offer and the guy accepted it and it was shipped. But it was standard like 3 rows. And we had to build it out to make it the photo booth bus. So
Nice.
it was a huge learning curve on all of that.
Cool. Well, that's a great story, and definitely a shout out to Jason
I
for helping out.
know.
Like that's awesome to be able to just like get that, that many options like the next day to choose from. So cool. That's awesome. So
Yeah.
you've already done a couple events,
Hmm.
and I've seen some of the pictures up on Facebook, and I think one of them was with Tammy Delarada, who is a friend. So, what kind of events have you done? What kind of events do you envision doing in the future? What are the options?
Yeah, so the possibilities are really endless with this business, and that's what we really love about it. Trisha and I both love the diversity and ways that we can incorporate our business into other people's visions and events. So we started out with the Tiger Point Christmas Parade,
Mm.
and it is an event that Katie Ronson with Levin Rinky Realty has started doing as an annual event. And it's just a way to bring the community together, get everyone in the Christmas spirit, parade through our town. The kids love it, the families love it. It brings everybody together. So the bus was finished the day before, and we did not know that we were going to be able to be a part of the parade. And timing worked out, and so we did the Tiger Point Golf Cart Parade as our first event. Um, we went to a networking event. It was the Coastal Weddings Bridal Expo,
Okay.
and we met a really, really amazing woman. Her name is Bethany Day, and she owns the event space at Court of DeLuna. And so we got chit-chatting with her, and she actually asked us to do her wedding.
Okay.
And so this was like we had about 3 weeks to prepare. We got to do her wedding. It was amazing. Um, and then we've also had the opportunity to be a part of some of the Mardi Gras crews at their balls. Um, and we, as far as events, we want to do some pop-up events where people can come and just get in the bus, take a few photos, and then carry on with their day. And then we really, really want to break into the bridal industry and the wedding industry, and be a part of people's weddings and their special day and be able to capture those moments.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, we can really do anything with that. And I think the coolest part about it is the equipment that we purchased.
Mm.
It can be put in the bus or outside of the bus and
Okay.
stand on its own. So if the bus doesn't fit someone's vision for their day and they want still the same concept for their guests and their family members to have that experience, we can just move the equipment in and out of the bus.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, it seems like the application could like be used for like a lot of like corporate events and nonprofit charity events like golf tournaments and things like that. And just
Absolutely.
it's a lot of times nowadays it's all about like creating memories and things. And so it's a really cool experience. So at your first wedding that you did, what was kind of were you able to kind of like sit back and kind of like see what the people's reactions to like what was that like?
So it's very hands-on. I was actually out of town. So
Okay.
Trisha, which she is just an incredible partner. Like she took this on, and one of our other friends, Rachel, who also works at the title office with us, and they tag team this event, but it is very hands-on. So they are helping the guests in and out of the bus.
Okay.
it's you have to duck a little, you'll hit your head. And we've done that multiple times. So just kind of helping people through the experience. It is not sit back and just let them take over. The equipment is very high tech, so it's run through an iPad, but it's attached to a professional camera. So the quality of the photos and the videos that you're getting are really, really good.
Nice.
So walking people through all the settings, and not everybody knows what a boomerang is or a GIF is. And so teaching them the movements to do and what it's going to look like at the end, it's very interactive. But we have all the props, so they go and choose their props, and then they come in, and then they can have we have a little curtain once they kind of get it figured out. We shut the curtain and we're like, all right, lose your mind, be silly, have fun, enjoy the moment.
Yeah,
And it
fun.
captures it all.
That's awesome. So, the we talked a little bit about the bus. The bus has a name. Uh, it's
Stella!
Stella. So when and you talked a little bit about like the camera and things like that. Is there anything else special about like, other than the curtain that the bus includes? Like, talk a little bit about like, I don't have any pictures right now of the bus, so I'm gonna go come and see it tomorrow. But
Yeah.
what does the bus like look like?
So the
Right,
bus,
if you could describe it, I guess.
it's so cute and
Yeah.
it's so quirky, which makes us love it even more. It kind of sits like with a little bit of a front tilt to
Okay.
it too.
It's
So
kind of
driving down, you can recognize it right away. But I think one of my favorite parts about the bus is that it is a neutral, like sand color. So we can really, with it being not like a vibrant color where we're kind of pigeonholed for certain themes or events, we can decorate the bus and change it for any theme imaginable. So it's a tan color. You walk in and it has the LVP flooring.
okay.
So it's the nice wood flooring. You have the back bench where you will sit and take photos. You can pile up to six, eight people. At one given point, there were nine little boys in the bus, and they all fit.
Yeah, that's
Um,
awesome.
and then the equipment sits towards the front of the bus, and it stands on its own, and then it has a printer that's connected. Um, so everything lives right in the bus. And then we have the back of the bus that opens up, that back hatch. We have a beautiful mirror that lights up, and that's where we store all of the props. So they're
Okay.
on little stands. So you kind of walk to the back of the bus. You can see what the props look like. You can hold the signs and get a good feel for what it's going to look like when the photo is taken. And then you come around, enter in the bus, and then right there from the seat, you can touch the screen and control the iPad and do whatever settings you want on it.
That's so cool. So it sounds like Stella's got a little bit of a personality.
She has a personality, and let me tell you, she is a beast to drive.
Oh gosh, I know. I had a friend that had a bus in high school, so I'm very familiar with navigating the roads in a bus.
Yeah, so Trisha and I both don't know how to drive the bus and purchased the bus not knowing how to drive it.
Well, that's cool. I can't wait to get out and see it for myself. So you're a new business, and when you're, obviously kind of everything kind of came together, it seemed like pretty quick from, the dream concept to actually having the bus in your driveway. What were some of the biggest challenges that you faced in like getting from kind of like start to like the day that essentially were kind of debuting the bus for the Christmas parade?
Yeah. So, I will say first, the biggest challenge is driving the bus.
Okay.
So we have Mio, Trisha's fiance, who has been incredible
Yeah.
and has taken on the responsibility of being our designated bus driver until we have it mastered and we know all of the ins and outs of how the VW bus runs. So that was a very big learning curve for both of us. It's very intimidating.
Yep.
And now that the bus is built out, you don't necessarily have like your rear view that you can see out of. So you have your little tiny circle side mirrors and the big windshield in the front, and that's about all you have. So that was definitely, I would say, one of the biggest challenges. But it's in our resolution this year to have it mastered by the end of this year. So we are working on it. And then the second biggest challenge I would say is just really getting familiar with the equipment
Mm.
and not so much of how it operates, because when it does operate, it is flawless. But the technology behind it and the you have to adjust all the settings on this beautiful camera, but they're manual settings and it's connected to this professional lighting. And so learning the photography side and the professional photography side of things, and what happens if it's not working, and kind of troubleshooting that while at an event and
Yeah.
staying calm and knowing where we can go to get those answers. That has probably been the second biggest challenge of just navigating this new equipment that we blindly walked into.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, photography and learning the camera. I mean, I've got a Nikon, and sometimes I'll like see an opportunity to take a beautiful picture, and I'll click, and then I'll look at it through the viewfinder, and you're like, oh God, what did I do wrong? Eh,
Yes, and the
Definitely a
exposure and aperture, all of these settings that your iPhone doesn't have you do that. It just kind of takes the photo and makes it beautiful. So it is very, very the equipment is just very high level equipment. So that has been fun
okay.
and overwhelming, but we have a good grip on it now. So we're able to kind of get in our little groove and know where to look if we see any problems come up.
That's awesome. And the thing is a lot of times when, the way technology works, it's like it's gonna break sometimes when you least expect it. So
Mm.
knowing how to troubleshoot all that stuff beforehand, it saves you a lot of time.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of the things we talked about because technology is not always perfect. So we're like, okay, if we need 5 or 10 minutes of troubleshooting and figuring out what's going on and getting it operating again, what can we do during an event to be prepared for guests and clients who are anxious and excited to get and have the experience in the bus? So one thing Trish and I have talked about doing is getting like Polaroid cameras or something to just have and be able to pass over and say, go have a blast. We're going to get this fixed and up and running. But that way, we just don't have people kind of standing around and waiting where it puts all the pressure on us trying to troubleshoot a stressful situation.
Definitely. Polaroid's actually a really good idea. That's
Yeah, and they're fun and they print out right away. And I mean, it's just something to kind of occupy the time while we troubleshoot and get it back and operating.
Definitely. That's a great idea. Okay, so our team, the NetSimple web team, built your website, coastalclick.com, coastalclickco.com. So
Yes.
make sure to put that out there. What was that experience like?
It was really good. I think that when Trisha and I, because everything did happen so quickly, one of the things we were trying to keep telling ourselves throughout this is done is better than perfect. And so let's just get it up and running. And then as we start to get more content and have events and be able to add and grow our website, that is something that can come along, but we just need it up and running where if people want to see what's going on and what is the business and how can I contact us or myself or Trisha, they're able to find it. And so everybody with NetSimple has done such a great job of getting us to that point of being live. And if you type it into Google, we pop right up, which is amazing. And so now I think on our side, we just want to continue to make some little changes to get the website where we want it to be.
Definitely. It's a great looking site. It's got a lot of white space, which is always really good. It's very easy on the eyes. The color, combination is again very like how you described the bus. It's very soothing, it's very neutral. You did it's a really good job to do it. And you're right. Like a lot of times, like a lot of times with clients, it's very hard to say that, you'll never ever really reach perfection. It'll never ever be perfect. And if you're waiting for something to be perfect, then you're never ever going to get out of the gate. And
Right.
and sometimes it's like, you have to kind of just, it's like the old commercial where the girls, the like the grandma sitting there at the stop sign and she's just waiting for traffic to break and somebody goes, just punch it, Margaret. And you just sometimes you just gotta like put your nose out there and then make the tweaks that you want to make along the way. And it's always good to like eventually make those tweaks and like update the site and things like that. So it's a really good looking site, and I can't wait to see how it evolves, and especially like with a gallery of like all the events and things like that. You know,
That is one of the things we're working on now. Now that we have a couple events under our belt and we have some really great content from the events, we're going to add in some slideshows of different things that we've done and all the different ways we can dress up the bus. And I also love, which I believe is newer to NetSimple, but being able to book and reserve your spot for an event directly from our site.
yep, it's our new Book Simple software. So it's
It's amazing.
yeah, and it's you get it's you just be able to log into the back end of your website. And it's all connected and you can pull your reports and you get your notifications. And it's the cost of it's, is better than most of the booking software that's out there. So yeah, we're excited and can't wait to get some feedback from you on it. And you're one of our first clients on that software. So
I like how user friendly it is, though. Whether you're bouncing between a computer or your iPhone, it's very easy to navigate and move through the steps of the process to be able to get to the payment side of things. It's very, very user friendly. So I love that about the system, and I can't wait until we get some like active bookings on our schedule because then it blocks out the date and people know right away like, hey, we have this available, or sorry, it's already booked. You have to kind of prep for it a little bit more in the future.
yep. So as I handle like the marketing side for our company, and just to kind of give as you're wanting to like market your company and the business and things like that and do some updates on the website, one of my kind of like pro tips or recommendations to lean into as you're doing your events is to try and capture
Okay.
video as you can, and then go and create a YouTube channel. Uh,
Ah,
and then you can upload you can either do live video on your YouTube or you can upload your videos to YouTube, and then we can embed those videos onto your website. Now, one of the things that, for people going to your website, the more video that you actually have on your website, the more time people will actually spend on your website, because they will like not like video like playing in the background, but like actually like embedded video. And one of the things that a lot of times people think about is like on the social media side of things, they're going, well, I'm going to do like Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok and things like that. But a lot of small businesses forget about YouTube, and YouTube is the
I forgot about it.
second most popular search engine out there, and a lot of people are going to YouTube to like find out how to do things. It's like, oh, my AC's down, or I need to repair my washer and dryer, and I just want to like search for something. Or when somebody searches for something on Google, it could be photo booth near me, and you could hit video in the search thing and videos will pop up there. But that's just a pro tip there. So
Yeah, thank you. I have my little notepad and I wrote that down because that is something we have definitely overlooked and not started yet.
yep.
And before we get too far into it, now's the perfect time. So thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so we got about 10 minutes left on our call, so we need to kind of like get through these next couple questions. So what is next now that your website's live and you're open for business? Do you have like any, what do you got coming up in the pipeline?
Yeah, so we have the pop-up event tomorrow at So Cute Boutique. We also have on March 8th, it'll be the little Tiger Point Mardi Gras
Okay.
um golf cart parade. And so same concept as the Christmas parade. Katie Robson puts it on. We will have jambalaya out there and a big cookout. And everybody kind of meets behind the Tiger Point Park
Okay.
and lines up and hangs out for a little bit, but their golf carts are decked out. The bus will be decked out for Mardi Gras. So we have that coming up on March 8th. And then actually from our website, we got our first wedding inquiry
Okay.
for a wedding in Gulf Shores. So we are kind of coordinating back and forth with this couple who are really interested in having the bus at their wedding. And that will be in May.
Okay. Well, that's cool. Now, the Tiger Point Park, is that the one where all the baseball fields are at? Or, okay, great.
Yep. So right behind Publix, in that little area, everybody kind of meets, gathers, and then there will be a parade route that we'll post and share with everybody once Katie has it kind of finalized. And everybody will parade, and it ends at the point.
Okay, great. That's awesome. So, you just mentioned that you got your first booking on the website. So if somebody is interested in like contacting you about an event, what is the best way to reach out to you?
So we have our emails and phone numbers on the website. We want to be quick to respond.
Okay.
And book and set a date. So Trisha and I both have committed instead of getting like a company number that might run to both of our phones, we're just putting our cell phones on there. It's the quickest way to reach us. We want to work with people. And I know that people like when they get quick responses.
Mm.
So we just figured between our email and our phone numbers that any bookings on top of the website
Yeah.
can be done by just reaching out and telling us what dates they're interested in, what the concept is, and that we'll be able to set it in stone and make it happen as seamlessly as possible for them.
Okay. And again, the website address is coastalclickco.com.
Yeah.
So, all right. We talked a little bit about social media. Just when during our talk discussion about YouTube. What social media platforms are you on, and where can they find you there?
So we have a Facebook page,
Okay.
Coastal Click Co. Our Instagram page, also Coastal Click Co.
Okay.
Um, and then we started a Pinterest page as
Okay.
well. Um, Pinterest was a really big part of Trisha and I sitting down and brainstorming other companies that have done the same model that we're doing just in different parts of the US. And so we relied heavily on Pinterest when it came to the build out and different design ideas that we had and different ways that we wanted the bus to look and how we could set up the outside of the bus to make it feel very homey and comfortable. So we decided that if all of our inspiration came from like Pinterest during this process, we should probably start a Pinterest page
Exactly.
in hopes that if anybody else wanted to do it, that they could get inspiration from our journey with it.
Definitely. And from at least, it's been 20 plus years since I've gotten married, but I know from a lot of people, they when they're planning their wedding, they spend a lot of time pinning stuff on Pinterest,
Yes.
from what I've heard about that.
Yes, it's a thing.
Yeah, so that's so cool. Well, you'll have to definitely reach out to our support team and let them know about your Pinterest account so they can add that to your website.
Okay,
Yep.
fantastic.
Just to put it up there at the top. Okay, so before we wrap up, I know you said you had some upcoming events. Is there anything else that you that's coming up, or anything to you want to kind of like talk about to promote the company or anything like that?
We just want to start getting out there and meeting the right people and having those conversations to let people know that our business is alive and that we can now do things. I think more so than fighting for bookings and trying to knock it out of the park this year. We really want to ease into it and focus on building our relationships within the community.
Okay.
And look at it as kind of a long term versus we need to have all this pressure to book, 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 book.
Yeah.
And the relationship side of this business is going to probably be the most important to both Trisha and I when moving forward and how we handle situations. And so just kind of being present and getting involved and it just takes time, and we understand that. So just having those conversations, meeting people, offering a service, and then really excelling at customer service when we do get those bookings. So that way it's a great experience for not only the person who booked us, but then also everybody who attended the event or the wedding or the family gathering or birthday or whatever it might be.
That's awesome. Definitely being able to get out in the community and build those relationships and then, make those connections. And doing the pop-up events as well. That's going to be a great way to get your get the brand out there. And I'm sure people will definitely recognize Stella driving up and down 98 across the bridge in Pensacola. So VW buses typically kind of draw some
They
attention.
turn heads, that's for sure.
Well, listen, I really appreciate you carving out some time for this conversation today. And again, if you want to contact Morgan over at Coastal Click Company, you can go to their website, coastalclickco.com. And you can also follow them on Facebook and Instagram and now Pinterest. And again, I'm Jamie. I'm with NetSimple. And if you are interested in a website, very similar to the one that Morgan got from us, or you need a booking software like what she's using, or help with tips for marketing and things like that, you can contact us over at NetSimple. We're at netsimple.io. And again, Morgan, good luck, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, thank you so much for your time today. I'm sorry that Trisha couldn't be here. I know she really, really wanted to, but we just thank you guys for everything you've done for us, and it happened so quickly. So for it to kind of move along and get us exactly where we need to be at the start of all of this has been a really big blessing. So thank you for everything you guys have done.
Thank you, Morgan. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.